Hi, welcome to the Triforce Podcast, where we talk about video games, we talk about movies, anime now, apparently.
Yeah, we're fucking multimedia at this point.
That alone is going to get us copyright.
Watch the show.
No.
It's the Triforce.
Welcome to the Triforce Podcast, everybody, where you come here and you listen to video games in a informal roundtable style. I actually just found out how to describe this podcast, and I figured I would test it out right here.
An informal roundtable style.
Informal roundtable style, yeah.
Right, we're nerds of the round table.
Absolutely. I think that's already taken, though, which is unfortunate.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's a good name. But so last week we were talking about wholesomeness and really sweet stuff.
Yeah.
At the end of the podcast, we mentioned we were going to do something Yu-Gi-Oh related this week, which is what we're doing. We're going to do some Yu-Gi-Oh tonight, and we're going to start off with Zach. What would Yamcha build in a deck? What would Yamcha's deck be? What would Goku's deck be?
Yamcha specifically, and Goku. Oh baby, oh man.
I saw the eyes. I was like, I need to drop this on him now before he has
So
a panic attack.
spooky.
We're not doing a Yu-Gi-Oh podcast, but we're starting off with Yu-Gi-Oh content.
Yeah, okay.
Technically to fulfill the quota that
You really,
prematurely put out last week.
I feel like Yamcha runs Ojama because Chaozu looks like an Ojama to me.
Well, that's Tien. Tien and Chaozu.
Oh, Tien and Chaozu are the ones
Yamcha
that are
couldn't give
homies.
a fuck about Chaozu.
Oh my god. Sick friend, Yamcha.
Yamcha.
You're not exactly pulling great numbers.
Yamcha definitely runs prank kids because he loves
Prank
Poir.
kids. That's true. Okay, that's good. You know, if you had one in mind, you could have just said.
I just thought of it now. I was like, oh, cats.
Goku runs something extremely powerful, something like either gods or something that's like really power crypt. And
I think Goku has a really shitty deck though, because he's not big in the brains department. So like he's got a bunch of really strong monsters, but like no way to summon them.
Super heavy samurai.
Yeah.
Goku runs
okay.
super heavy samurais.
I can see that.
Stat of my mentions.
Yeah.
Piccolo's a Predaplant main.
Was it because he's green?
Because he's a slug person.
It's because
And slugs eat plants.
That's a good point.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. So I think that Bulma gives me a lot of My Valentine, a lot of Harpy vibes.
She's a Harpy lady. Ready for this? Harpy lady junk warrior
Combo.
like hybrid deck.
I'm gonna say something. I thoroughly believe that Fat Boo, Big Fat Majin Buu, is a Toon World.
I love that.
I thought you might.
I love a Fat Boo Toon World, man. Mm-hmm. Hercule runs UA, 100%.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Not a doubt. So before we, we've retained
Before we
the
lose
Yu-Gi-Oh
the audience.
the Yu-Gi-Oh audience is already writing us off, and the Dragon Ball Z audience is like, all right, sometime today would be nice.
Intro's 15 minutes. Come on.
But I hope you all enjoyed.
Yeah.
We have decidedly little left of season 4, but we've been talking about season 4. The androids are here. They just got woken up by Dr. Gero last episode, and now he is big dead.
Yeah.
Android 16 is awakened now.
Oh, my boy.
So it's 16, 18, and 9.
No, it's,
17,
16, 17, and 18.
16, 17, 18. And we've got 4 episodes till we're at season 5.
So we're just going to title this season 5, episode 1, and then obviously once we're done with season 4, we have to christen the season.
Yes.
So.
And I think I've got just the thing.
Oh no!
So let's shall we get cracking then?
Yeah. So this is gonna be weird. It's gonna be like a hybrid episode. So stick around.
An episode and a half.
Yeah.
So episode 135, Deadly Beauty.
Oh yeah.
Otherwise known as Good Looks and Superpower.
Yeah.
No
Krillin's
blind spot on number 18.
No blind spot on 18 at all. 18 is one of the scariest fucking characters in that show.
Yeah.
By a huge margin.
Like, when I was a kid, I remember I was like, oh, Bulma's like, okay, she fulfills this role. She's cute. And I was just like, oh my God, this is like one of the first lady villains that I was like very scared of.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, oh, wow. Okay.
This was like the first instance, like you're right, in anime where I was just like all the girls were super girly and all the guys were super macho.
Like even like what's her name, Queen Snake or Princess Snake?
Yeah, Princess Snake was like super.
She was cute and like bubbly, and then she was a demon. But that was like, oh, it's a demon. But it's like,
right.
She had those eyes, like the very cold eyes and stare.
Yeah, and then Android 18 just came around and was just like a cold, unfeeling machine that was like also kind of just a regular person.
Yeah.
You know, she acted like a real regular person, and then all of a sudden she's just like, yeah, Super Saiyan Vegeta, that doesn't scare me. Like, she's like, come on, bitch. Like, I was like, oh my god.
Speaking of Vegeta, Vegeta catches up to the trio of androids in time to face them head on. The first to fight is the beautiful Android 18.
Oh yeah, by the way, this is Vegeta after him going, yeah, I'm going to wipe them all out by myself.
Ugh.
I will just go on record and say Vegeta is a problematic favorite.
Trash boy.
He's a trash boy because the entirety of Season 4 and Season 5 could have been avoided if somebody put Vegeta in a coma after Frieza.
Okay. So here's the thing. A lot of people, as I've said in the past, like to analogize and kind of compare Goku with Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And I analogize Vegeta with a sort of like a Batman-esque character, like someone who makes a lot of very questionable decisions, is motivated by a kind of internal drive, and is just like very standoffish and not personable, and that's kind of the way I feel.
I could see that, but like Batman Batman and Vegeta are also both extremely smart people.
Yeah,
but Batman doesn't give a shit about his pride. And Batman doesn't give a shit about this. He just gives a shit about getting shit done.
Right.
Vegeta's
in his head,
fatal flaw, his all-time 100%, the only thing that comes to bite him in the ass at every point is his pride.
Yeah.
That's it.
His pride is the Prince of all Saiyans.
His pride is the Prince of all Saiyans. Like, if he could just get rid of that, Vegeta would be the strongest fighter in the universe, bar none.
And it looks like his mouth wrote a check that his body couldn't cash.
Oh,
it seems that Android 18 has the upper edge in this fight so far. Trunks, Piccolo, Krillin, and Tien. Tien has a last name?
Yeah, Tien Shinhan.
Tien Shinhan. Why tell me now? Why tell me now?
Goku is Goku's last name. That's not his first name. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Oh.
His first name is Sun.
No.
Like
no.
Sun Wukong.
Yeah,
That's the whole point.
Okay. I always thought that was just like a title. I didn't know.
Son Goku. That's
Does anybody else
his
have a
name.
fucking
Son
last
Gohan.
name? Bulma Briefs, I knew that.
Bulma Briefs. Chaozu.
No, don't tell me.
I don't think Chaozu has another name.
Yamcha Johnson. I don't know.
Yamcha Bogart.
Yamcha Bogart. Don't you dare.
I would never. Let's see. Yeah, I mean they have a lot of names.
Trunks
Briefs.
Piccolo.
Briefs.
Krillin and Tien Shinhan catch up shortly after, but Vegeta agrees to a deal Android 17 made that if any of the others interfere with Vegeta's fight with Android 18, that Android 17 will get involved.
Yeah.
It soon becomes apparent that Android 18 has been toying with Vegeta long enough for his energy to wear out.
Yeah, she's just fucking with him this whole time.
It's like, jokes.
Like, she was super smart with this, because I don't think this is going to go into detail in the battle, so I'll just, is the next part the end of the battle?
Once Vegeta's energy has lowered enough, Android 18 takes the offensive against Vegeta, who is now not as powerful to defend himself that much.
Okay. So, here's the thing about that, is Android 18 and Android 17 are a very unique set of fighters, in that they may not be the strongest fighters on the roster, but they're some of the most deadly because they have unlimited energy. They do not run out of energy.
They also think very surgically. It feels like they're very precise.
Almost like they're machines.
Yeah.
There it is, guys. There's the title card.
Thank you.
But
are you keeping track at home?
Absolutely. So it's it's a very dangerous thing to try and outpace Android 17 and 18 because they may not be the fastest, they may not be the strongest, but they will go longer than you. And that is the scariest part of them. And that's why Android 18 was just letting Vegeta basically beat her this whole time, because Android 18 was just going to get back up. She's like, he doesn't have enough power to take me offline. So, like, we're just going to let him do it. We're just going to let him have it. He's going to get all of his energy out, and then I'm going to go in for the kill. Like,
genius.
It's the scare. And, like, not only that, playing into Vegeta's pride, you know, making him think he's winning this whole time when Android 18 just comes up and just fucking whips him.
Shin check.
Oh my God. This was a brutal fucking fight. Like, we saw Vegeta get his fucking arm busted by Android 18. You see it, like, broken and hanging. Yeah. It's awful. And then she's just like, what about the other arm? You still got another one? Oh, not anymore. She comes out and roundhouse kicks him in the arm so hard that it, like, disables it. And he's just this, like, he's just legs. Legs and Super Saiyan. That's all he is.
Legs. Oh, God.
It's ridiculous.
Episode 136. No match for the androids.
Here it is. Here it is.
Or nobody is able to stop them. Is this the end of the Z Warriors?
Mm-hmm.
That's my exclamation point.
Yeah.
Question mark voice.
All the time.
Just for those of you that might just be joining us. With Trunks interfering, Android 17 knocks him out easily, as he does with Tien and Piccolo as well, who attempt to intervene. Krillin is too frozen with fear to get involved, and Android 16 is just standing there off to the side, just fucking vibing.
Just vibing, man.
Chilling. He's like, just woke up.
Yeah. You're going to learn a lot about 16, and you're going to learn about why I love him
Time
as a
for
character.
my electricity breakfast.
He's the only one of them that actually speaks like a robot, by the way.
Yeah, I love him. I love him. Vegeta once again tries to fight Android 18, but is beaten easily. Android 17 and 18 have easily beaten a considerable amount of Earth's heroes and head off to complete their mission. But can Goku recover in time to help and protect himself?
Oh, boy.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they just, like, roster wipe in a few minutes. Like, Trunks, who was supposed to be this, like, heraldic savior from a future land bishop from X-Men style, just gets karate chopped in the neck and just gets out. Like,
think about it. Trunks was one hit by Android 17, right? Think about that. He made mincemeat of Frieza.
And King Cold.
And it was barely a warm-up for them. And Android 17 just comes and fucking just Vulcan neck chops this bitch, and he's out.
Yeah, like, but, you know, I mean, Vegeta, as you described, was getting fucking really whipped.
Vegeta was getting the absolute. What was it you said the other day? The 5-knuckle shuffle. I love that a lot. Like, he was just catching it from Android 18.
Absolutely.
And then Vegeta, Super Saiyan Vegeta, is actually stronger than Goku at this point. Mm-hmm. So, because he had been training and Goku's been hung up with the fucking virus. So, you know, it's just, I know it's so stupid. It's so stupid to say.
He's on bed rest.
He's on bed rest. So Vegeta's actually stronger than Goku at this point. And we just see him get the fucking work from Android 18. This other Super Saiyan gets the work from 17. What the fuck are Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin gonna do?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? As much as I love them, Krillin was the smartest one in the bunch. By far.
Fucking didn't do anything.
He didn't do a thing, and he appealed to their human side. And we'll see what happens with that later.
Okay. Episode 137, Last Dish Effort, or Piccolo's Resolution, the last measure in his reserve.
Yeah.
This is an interesting one. Like, they're up, right? The androids, I don't know what their prime objective is, to destroy Goku, right?
That's it.
They're like Terminatoring Goku.
That's it.
All right, so the first thing, though, that they do once they wake up, as the androids try to find a car for some fun.
Oh, yeah.
They're just going to hit the town.
They're just kids. They're just kids. They're just robot kids.
The Z Fighters think of try to get stronger quickly as Piccolo heads to Kami's lookout for the one thing he needs to beat androids, to fuse with Kami himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this was crazy. I mean, at this point, I don't know why the androids didn't just fly. You know what I mean? I don't understand that.
They can fly.
Like, they can fly. All three of them can fly. I guess it might have just been to not draw attention to themselves.
I think it's the thrill of Grand Theft Auto.
I think it really was the thrill of Grand Theft Auto. I think Android 17 was the brainchild behind that because he's just such a fuck.
Kind of a douche, yeah.
He's kind of douchey, but also I really respect the technique. Like if my only goal, right, is to, you know me. Let's say that I had one goal and it was to kill somebody on this planet, right? Just one goal and then that's it. I'm free for the rest of my life. Don't you think I would have some fun? Don't you think I would make it as fun for myself as possible?
Yeah, probably.
I have been asleep for 20 plus years and then I wake up with this directive. Don't you think I'm going to have as much fun as
I guess
as
you're
possible?
probably not going to do the one thing that you've woken up to do after hypersleep immediately.
Exactly.
I just figure that since they're machines that they would go towards that objective first.
Well, here's the thing. The only one that's a true machine there is 16.
Right.
17 and 18 are technically cyborgs.
You said this last episode.
So
right?
they were people that were taken. This is for the people who didn't listen to the last episode. But they were people that were taken off the street and just made into machines.
Yeah.
It's awful.
So yeah, like you said, they have like human emotion. They have like
They do. I mean, they're also cold, unfeeling monsters, but like, you know,
they have like logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
To the point of like humanity, I guess.
Absolutely.
All right, episode 138, closing in. Or artificial weapons of mass destruction. The artificial humans draw nearer to Goku. The androids find a car to find Goku, but have to deal with the authorities.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, the androids just woke up and they're already dealing with the 5-0.
Absolutely,
Unbelievable.
man. Can you imagine rolling up? Who's the cop that rolls up on Android 16, 17, and 18? They just hijacked a car, right? And these two guys are just smiling away. They're just having a great time, not scared of you at all. And then you look in the back of the truck, and there's this 8'11" megalith of a man. What do you
Mr. Incredibling it in the car, just like shoulders up against the roof.
Oh my god! Like he literally can't even fit in the fucking car.
Yeah, that's a good way to
Oh man,
not make it home that night.
that is a good way to lose your retirement.
Meanwhile, Kami looks over Earth for some time to decide to fuse with Piccolo as Krillin and Trunks head to Goku's house to try to take him somewhere else. But how long can Goku be hidden until he's better? It's our first question mark. Our last one. Nope, our last episode's got one too.
Oh, here we go.
Episode 139. Unwelcome discovery or ominous foreboding. Bulma unveils a mystery.
Oh my god.
The androids are still driving a van to Goku's house. Goku is being taken to another place to be safe from androids. He is ill and sees nightmares. Bilma. Jesus. Bilma.
That's like the discount Bulma. Like,
Male swap.
oh god, that's gender swap Bulma.
Bulma gets news about a time machine made by Capsule Corp. Where has it come from, and who does it belong to?
Oh, I wonder. Maybe the fucking kid from the future that we know about at this point. Like the one guy who isn't from this timeline. Like
Awful.
maybe.
Awful. Well, that is the end of season 4. So that's the thing that they leave us off on. The androids are decidedly whipping them. Like they are really Piccolo is about to ascend to godhood in order to try to fight them.
Can you imagine? Like, imagine going up to God, literal God, and saying, "You and I need to team up.
We need to do a little dance, buddy.
We need to do a dance and become one being so that I can go and break this machine that this guy created." You're talking to literal God. You know what I mean? What a day.
Right.
What a day.
Right.
And Mr. Popo just got done watering the flowers. What a day, you know?
Or the rhododendrons are coming in nicely. Oh, my God. Ridiculous.
So fucking funny, man.
Yeah, so that's season 4. And this is episode 140, which is beginning season 5, which aired originally in May 20th to November 18th of 1992. Crazy.
That's ridiculous. So this is season 5, man.
It is. And,
all right, so should we break for a story?
We can break for a story, and I feel like I hope that this will be will be enjoyable, because it certainly wasn't while it was happening. All right, so I went to college upstate, and we had, as many colleges had, a place where you could go and swipe a little piece of plastic that the school had given you and eat a bunch of as much mediocre food as you could possibly consume in a given period of time, otherwise known as the dining hall, or D hall, as we
D hall. I think I know. I think you might have told me this.
It may be off podcast, but this is a good one.
Oh man, this is a good one.
So I think I lived rather close to D hall, actually. Like, it was right outside my building. And so my friends and I were walking, and there was almost there was a stairway that went down, and that was the main entrance. But there's also a second floor. There were some office buildings on there, and there was a bathroom. That's going to be relatively important to this one. So my friend was like, hey guys, before we go down and eat, I got to go use the bathroom, because there was no bathrooms on the first floor. It led into the tunnels that would help you go back into your dorm building on the first floor, but no bathrooms. So I went up into the top floor bathroom, and when I entered the men's room, I was immediately my senses were assaulted by the scent of leavings, you know. And I was like, oh,
ew!
I'm sure.
I don't know why that's the word that grossed me out. Leavings. Like a fucking Sasquatch had just been in there.
Exactly. So I figured that somebody was like in process. You know, I figured somebody was like freshly delivering. And I was like, I can't fault the man for that. You know, that's exactly why I'm here. And but then I sort of did like a serial killer thing where I like opened, tried every door. I didn't want to look under, because I've had a poor experience with that, where I was in a public restroom. This is a quick little side one. I engaged in a little bit of flatulence, and I was like, oh, fuck. I didn't check to see if anyone else was in here. Just ripped ass terribly. So when I was at the sinks, which were across from the stalls, I was like, all right, this is the perfect chance. No. And I looked under, and I made eye contact with someone in the stall. Who was looking for the flatulator in question.
Oh, no.
Myself.
Oh no!
So I didn't want to do that. I didn't do that.
I do a separate, I have stopped caring about farting in the bathroom, because that's where everybody goes to fart.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I could give a shit. Like, if there were 5 people walking next to me in the bathroom and I just ripped ass, like, well, you know what we're all in here
Ridiculous.
for.
So
Like,
I push on the first stall, empty. I push on the second one. It's empty-ish.
oh,
It's going to be important.
oh no. Empty asterisk.
Yeah, literally.
Oh,
I push on the third
no.
one, completely empty. No one is in the process of fecaling right now.
This is like when you're playing RuneScape, and it's just like one's empty. They're both blue, and the other one's empty, but it's in yellow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh no.
So I say empty-ish because in the center stall, there was...
Why the center one? Like, they're presenting it.
It was the largest piece of fecal matter I've ever personally seen. Not insofar as like length, but as far as width, I'm unsure as to this person's general health. Like, it was like, you ever see when like a pine cone grown too big at the bottom? It was like if you played polymerization on 6 Cadbury eggs. Like, it was massive. Like, I don't know how the diameter of it like got out of this person. And so I didn't go about my business. I left and I returned to my friends. I'm like, guys, you got to see this. I'm like, I got to be honest. Like, you got to.
You rolled the squad into the bed.
No, that's the thing is they were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no. I refused to give them any context. I was like, just go into the center stall. Go into the center stall. So my friend Parker, God blessed be his name, like he was the first one to go in there. And he came back and like only you were going to get to enjoy this visual. But when he came back, like this was his face. He was just like, like his eyes were wide. He was like running hands through his hair. It's just like, how?
It's the same kind of look where like you just witnessed a car crash.
Yeah,
you
no.
know?
So at that point, my friends Taylor and Joe were fascinated. So they both went in together and they're like, oh my God. To this day. And so this was back in the time where there was a lovely little social media app, very popular on college campuses, known as Yik Yak.
Oh, yeah.
And you could yak something, I guess, which is
You're yakking, all right.
a message, and people could upvote it or downvote it. You got unlimited upvotes, but if you were downvoted more than 5 times, your Yik Yak would disappear.
Think about it as anonymous local Reddit.
It was stupid. It was very stupid.
Actually, I thought it was pretty ingenious.
I enjoyed it at the time, obviously, but looking back, I'm like, fucking Yik Yak. But I Yik Yacked, I'm like, look, whoever just laid the dinosaur egg-sized turd in the D-Hall men's room center stall, I hope you're all right. Like, med services are in this building. I don't know how the diameter of this got out of you. Like, if there's anything I can do, like...
Oh, my God.
And that, to this day, like, I'm closing my eyes and I can see it right now. Like, it's like, it's burned into me. Like... And that it's not a shit story that I was involved in the shitting, but that shit stayed with me, and therefore I think it's a shit story.
Oh my God, that's fucking amazing! Like, oh my Lord! Wow.
Oh yeah, this is a good this is a good segue.
Polymerization on 6 Cadbury.
I would say 6. Like, an argument can be made for 10.
Oh
like,
God! Like I watched it in my head. Like I watched that go down. Like,
Right.
and did you even think to flush it? Like, was it just like a kind of?
That's the thing is, there was toilet paper involved, but it was underneath it. Like it was like cradling it,
So
like swaddled, like it was. I'm like, why was this the first?
Like he put that in a porcelain manger. Like it was just like it was the baby Jesus.
Yeah,
like
it probably wasn't a silent night for that guy. That was probably a forceful shit.
Oh my God! Like that's a horrifying experience. Because I've made a few poop lasagnas in my day. Like, did you like that one?
The butt wrap supreme.
I was gonna think that more of like the Gunch Wrap Supreme.
Gunch Wrap. You ready for this?
Wait, no, I'm not ready.
No, you're not ready. Exactly right. Episode 140.
No, wait.
Seized with fear, or the ocean dub title, Discovery of an Evil Egg. Terrified Trunks.
Oh, we already went past that one.
That's all I wanted to say.
Oh God!
I'll give you a moment to recover now.
Could you just imagine? Like you think you're done pooping, right? Like this guy probably thought he was done. You know what I mean? Like, and then all of a sudden you just feel something, a rumbling in the tum-tum.
Yeah.
And just like that, like you just feel like you're giving birth to a small rhinoceros.
Something's definitely entered the loading bay.
Something has entered the loading bay, and it is the size of the ship. Like, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like, if that was the case, like, he had all of that in him at once.
Yeah, I can't believe it. And that's why I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go to the other lunch place. Like, I don't think I'm going to go to D-Hall very often anymore.
Like, could you just imagine taking a poop so large that you don't even flush it. Like, he wanted that to be seen.
I want to hold on. I'm gonna like give you a diameter for this.
Oh God!
Like it was like easily like something of this nature at its widest.
Oh God! Oh, that is a baby's foot.
Like this is a butthole. Like
That's the worst.
Dragon Ball Z. You know, like I don't know.
Oh my God!
Oh man, so many seasons, so much shit.
Oh God, that is horrific.
Yeah, shout out
Wow,
to my alma mater.
the human sphincter is
whoever
quite the
shit.
muscle.
All right, shall we then?
Yeah, let's do it.
Fantastic.
The evil egg. Let's do the evil egg. The eviler egg.
I'm suddenly hungry for Cadbury.
No.
140. Gohan and Trunks head to the other time capsule.
You're gonna find out. Yep.
Other time capsule with Bulma to find out more about the truth of the extra time machine.
Okay, so I don't know why they skipped over this. Maybe they skipped over it in the last episode. But yeah. Okay, I know what they're talking about. Remember when they were talking about the time machine last time?
Yeah.
So they had found a time machine
Okay.
in the wild, basically, and it looked exactly like the one that Trunks made. Like this one was like covered in moss. It was damaged almost beyond repair, and it had this giant hole in the canopy. And it was like, what the fuck is this? So they like brushed the moss off, and they found the Capsule Corp logo, and they're like, oh shit. So then they brushed like another thing off, or no, they didn't. They went inside and they found this little egg thing. Like they found this little like 2 egg shells in there. And they're like, what is this?
It's an evil egg.
Yeah, it's an evil egg. So they're like, who was this? Because Trunks is already here. And Trunks has his time capsule in a Capsule Corp pod.
Right.
So, like, who's the fuck is this? And that's what they're talking about. So I think they call Trunks in this episode to be like, yo, come check this out. Like, who is this? You know? Is that what it says in this episode?
No, it
Not
really
quite,
does not.
okay.
No, it doesn't. We're the next episode completely just glosses over it. So they found another time machine.
They found a second time machine.
Dank.
Technically.
Hell yeah.
Technically.
Sounds good.
And that'll come up later.
Episode 141, The Reunion. Or To Face an Unprecedented Foe, Birth of a Super Namekian. While Gohan and Trunks go to Master Roshi's island, there is a crisis in Ginger Town, where its inhabitants are disappearing, but with no damage to the town.
Right.
Realizing this threat, Kami decides to fuse with Piccolo. But will their combined power be enough to handle whatever is going on down there?
Oh, God. They every time. Come on.
You're going to get even madder. So, yeah. So, Kami's finally decided to fuse with Piccolo because people are getting straight up murdered in a place called Ginger Town. Of all places.
Yeah. Ginger Town. That's where a majority of season 5 takes place.
Interesting.
So.
I love that. What a nice... I didn't even know of that locale.
Yeah. I mean, there are actual cities on Earth. Like, you know, most of the shit doesn't take place on Namek. Mm-hmm. Like.
Episode 141. Borrowed Powers or Kamehameha? The monster who possesses Goku's ki. The deserted streets of Ginger Town become a battlefield as the powered-up Piccolo confronts this terror from the future.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Hold on.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Wait, so what happened to the androids?
Okay, they're still happening. They're still happening.
So here's the thing, guys.
Yeah.
Just get your strap in. All right, here we go.
So basically what happens is during this time we kind of get jettisoned into another subplot of the Android saga, but then these two subplots come together hard later on. So we met another android.
That's true. And this terror from the future. This monster's name is Cell, and he gains strength from sucking the power out of his victims.
Yes, he does. So basically, Ginger Town is left completely deserted, and this was like a kid's show. May I remind everybody?
Oh
here.
yeah, I remember
This was a kid's show, and we went to Gingertown and saw just clothes strewn about the town. The streets were littered with clothes, cars were crashed, and there wasn't a single person around. And it was like they were sucked out of their bodies with their clothes left behind. And every single one had the same piece of damage. A hole in the back of the shirt.
Interesting.
So that was the whole thing in common. And then when we meet Cell, right? When we fucking meet him, we're seeing the last resident of Gingertown on his belly. Cell jabs a needle into his back and literally sucks the life out of him on screen.
Yeah.
We see this man melt into nothing.
Yeah.
Like, it was the most horrific thing I have ever seen as a child.
I can hear the sound effect, the Foley of him absorbing the power.
It was awful. And this is when Piccolo met him for the first time. And then he comes out, he's like, "Hello, Piccolo."
Right,
like,
because he's still imperfect.
Yeah, like that's my favorite. Like, that's my favorite.
Imperfect Cell?
Imperfect Cell is just so, like, he's just so conniving. Like, Perfect Cell is fun as hell. Like, let's be honest. Perfect Cell is one of my favorite anime villains of all time because he's just such a fun character, you know? And then just Imperfect Cell is like, "Hello, I can do this." Like,
but that's not the only secret this creature reveals. Somehow he also knows Goku's special move, the Kamehameha.
yes, he does. And that was like the big ending of the episode. They're like, "How the fuck do you know that?" And he's like, "I know everything, Piccolo."
How the fuck does this lizard know the Kamehameha? Find out
just said
next
it.
week on Dragon Ball Z.
You're gonna find out next week.
Next week on episode 143.
Absolutely.
His name is Cell. His name is Cell. His name is Cell. His name is Cell.
Oh yeah, and so begins one of the best arcs in all of anime.
Or a life form of evil and destruction. His name is Artificial Human Cell.
He is not an artificial human.
He's an artificial beetle.
He is a biped bug. Like, it's ridiculous.
With the element of surprise, the creature gets a hold of Piccolo and begins to give him the good suck to absorb him. But Piccolo manages to break free. With his arm weakened, Piccolo surrenders, but Super Namekian asks for one last request to know who the creature is.
Oh yeah, so at this point, by the way, he had fused with Kami.
So he doesn't have any sauce.
Yeah, no sauce, no nothing. Kami's gone, and now there's no Piccolo Kami bullshit, so we're fine. But because of this fusion, Piccolo is wildly stronger. Like, this is the type of strong where if Piccolo had been able to fuse with Kami in season 2, there would have been no Frieza saga.
That's true.
There would have been no Frieza saga because Piccolo would have given Frieza the fucking work. Like, it would have been ridiculous. So now we're fighting this thing that this Super Namekian can't even really like grasp. You know what I mean? He's actually overpowering Cell a little bit at this point, but Cell is a little smarter than that. You know, he's been waiting this whole time and, you know, observing the world.
Cold and calculating.
Cold and calculating, exactly. So Piccolo does this thing where he lets himself get absorbed a little bit by Cell. Like, so he has this like shriveled up arm and he's like, I can't fight without my arm. You know, I can't do that. So, you know, before you kill me, why don't you tell me who you are just so I know who you are?
Doesn't it just regenerate his arm?
We're getting to that. Okay. So does it get into the next episode?
His name is Cell, an android made of the strongest fighters in the universe, and he is hungry for more power thanks to Dr. Gero. End of episode.
Okay, so here's the fun part of that. Piccolo's just like, "You've beaten me." Oh, he's fucking playing it up. He's like, "You've beaten me. I can't fight without my arm. Tell me who you are." And he's just like, "Okay, so I guess I owe you that. I'm Cell, and my makeup."
Nice to do.
Hi,
Cell.
hi.
He,
Hi,
him.
How you doing? Well, he'd be a he they because he's made so many.
Makes sense.
But like, Cell is an amalgamation. He's a bio android, as he says, and he's a completely artificial living being made of the cells of Tien, Yamcha, Goku, Frieza, Piccolo, Vegeta, and Trunks.
Whoa.
How fucking insane is that?
Yeah, I don't really know what the genes of Yamcha are doing in that concoction, but
He can do the Wolfang Fist, man.
Wolfang Fist.
It's terrible. Well, because Yamcha's a great martial artist. Put it in a body that can actually use it.
Tee.
Sorry, Yamcha. But, like, Yamcha has some good moves. It's just that he's not strong enough to do anything about it.
Trash.
You know?
144. Piccolo's Folly.
Oh, yeah.
Piccolo bought Alaska or something. Otherwise known as Piccolo's Grievous Mistake. Cell turned loose on the city.
Yeah, so this is a little fucked.
As the android from the future tells Piccolo his objective to absorb androids 17 and 18 to obtain his quote-unquote perfect form, Piccolo regenerates his arm. I feel like such a doofus.
Yeah. But you know what's really funny is I told you that Cell was made of Piccolo's cells, right?
Right.
Didn't he fucking know that Piccolo
he
could
could
do
regenerate,
that?
yeah.
Didn't Piccolo know? Didn't Cell know that?
Maybe he was just fucking with him the whole time.
Maybe.
With his power restored and with Krillin and Trunks by his side,
Yeah.
Piccolo has a good chance against Cell, but the android has more tricks up its sleeve. It's revealed that Cell killed Trunks in his future.
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit!
Yes, he did.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, so now we know how powerful Cell is.
Wow.
And here's the fun part is all the androids are related. They have a purpose to serve. Like yeah, so we're going to see some shit with Cell and the other androids coming up, which is one of the most interesting plots that I have ever seen in a show. Like where you know how I love that trope of when bad guys become good guys.
Yes,
you know,
you
like,
do love that.
I'm a huge fan. I love the Vegeta arc for that, and I love the Android arc. So we're gonna find out. Why that is a little bit later.
Right. Episode 145.
Any excuse to let me do my Cell voice, like any excuse.
Was that it?
We're finding out a little bit later.
Episode 145, Laboratory Basement, or The Secret of Cell's Birth. What lies below the laboratory?
Hey, check it out. That's me.
It's a laboratory. That's where I was made.
That is me in that tube, you know.
Hey, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got it. By using Tien's solar flare, Cell manages to escape and suppress his power in order to complete its dreadful mission. After telling everyone the bad news, Piccolo and Tien find Cell as Trunks and Krillin try to find the bunker beneath Dr. Gero's laboratory and destroy the present Cell in order to find in order to stop him in the future. They happen to find some incredible news: the plans of Android 17.
Yeah, so they find out the schematics of how 17 and 18 were created, because 17 and 18 were made the same way. So, similar. Actually, similar. There's a key difference in 18 than 17, and it's not exactly what you think.
Is it plot relevance?
Yes, it is plot. Well, not plot. The thing is, the actual difference is plot relevant. But I think that's only in GT. Actually, now that I think about it,
Dragon Ball GT.
yeah, which we
Coming
might
up next.
we might go over. But
Are we skipping straight to Super?
well, Super's the canon one. GT isn't. So yeah, they decanonized GT. Can you imagine? Like, man,
Episode 146. Our hero awakes, or Goku awakens to battle. Go beyond Super Saiyan plus Ultra.
yeah, buddy. So we're finding out that there's more levels to this Saiyan bullshit, and yeah, it doesn't stop here. Like this isn't the top. So
No.
yeah. Get prepared for this shit.
As Krillin heads back to Master Roshi's, he crosses Cell's path and barely escapes his wrath as Piccolo and Tien arrive at the scene.
Yeah, so Krillin's got to like talk his way out of fighting Cell.
How?
Krillin's,
Charisma checks are out of control.
Krillin's got some
Krillin's
fucking
the bard.
Yeah. He's 100% the bard. And Krillin is one of the smartest. I've told you, Krillin's a smart fucking guy. He knows when he's not going to win. You know, he actually fights Cell. He fights Cell a little bit because when he's on his way to Master Roshi's, he flies over this deserted city. and he just senses Goku, he senses Vegeta, he senses Frieza, he senses everyone, because that's Cell's signature, is all of them combined, which is fucking horrible. So he finds Cell chasing after this mother and daughter. It's like two sisters. One's very much older, one's younger. And Krillin goes and saves them. And he's got to fight Cell. Like, he's trying to sneak around this Air Force base, trying to find these women, and then Cell just rolls up on him, and he's just like, oh no, what do I do now? So he's got to fight, and he's got to really just hold his own until, like, I think it was Piccolo shows up, and Bulma, I think, right? Mm-hmm. They all show up, and then Cell just goes away because Goku's with them. Oh, no, Goku's not with them yet. Piccolo's with them. Tien is with them?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's no match for all three of them, so he's just got to dip. But he saves these girls, and that's how he comes into contact with Cell. And Krillin's just like, okay, I just need to distract Cell until I can just fly away and get away from these guys. Mm-hmm. And then I think he uses the solar flare technique on Cell.
That was from last episode.
It was from last episode. Okay. So, fun fact about that. Cell is a very quick learner.
And he learned solar flare.
He might have done that. So, yeah.
So, meanwhile, Piccolo, as Krillin heads back to Master Roshi's, he crosses Cell's path and barely escapes his wrath as Piccolo and Tien arrive at the scene. Meanwhile, Trunks finds his father to train with him in order to surpass a Super Saiyan. As all hope seems lost, a glimmer still remains. Goku has made a recovery and plans to get stronger. But how?
Yeah, you ready for this shit? Goku makes a recovery. Doesn't fucking tell anybody he's leaving the house. He just wakes up and goes, oh, I sense Krillin and Bulma and everybody. Just fucking instant transmissions to them. Doesn't tell Chi-Chi where he's going. Doesn't tell Gohan where he's going. Like, what the fuck, Goku? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't understand Goku at all. So he warps into the actual helicopter plane thing that Bulma drives. And then they have this whole, like, reunion scene. And he's just like, hey, guys, what's up?
Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's so fucking stupid. It's so shonen and just so, like, it's so shonen jump it hurts. But yeah, Goku's back in the fight, guys. Goku's back. We might have a fucking shot.
He always needs to. Yeah. He seems like he never gets any off time. Like, no. He's always off on...
but he doesn't want any off time. That's the thing.
No days off, baby.
None.
Let's go. So we're on 147, so we'll make it to 150 and then call it a night, perhaps?
Yeah.
All right. Episode 147, The Time Chamber, otherwise known as Hasten Your Training, Saiyans, in the Room of Spirit and Time.
Yeah, this is such an iconic piece of Dragon Ball Z. The hyperbolic time chamber.
True.
A place where I wish I could go every single day of my goddamn life, because imagine just 1 year in a span of 24 hours. Do you know how great that would be? I could go in there and sleep for 8 hours and come back and it's a minute later.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Sounds great.
That's fantastic.
After enduring the terrifically horrifying effect of the viral heart disease, Goku recovers.
Fucking viral heart disease.
And has only one objective on his mind: surpassing the level of Super Saiyan.
Yeah, of course he does. Not like, you know, rejoining society. You know, not like, holy shit, I almost just died. Not like anything like that. No, it's just, all right, we're going to train immediately. Not how's my wife.
No,
not like
how's Chi-Chi.
Not how's my friends.
Nobody is worried about me.
Nobody's worried about Chi-Chi. Like, come on.
With Vegeta's mind set on reaching the same seemingly unreachable goal, Goku takes him on and takes him, Trunks, and Gohan to the mysterious hyperbolic time chamber, where 1 year is equivalent to that of one Earth day. Meanwhile, the androids face an unexpected and unforeseen issue. Goku's not home. With the androids now closing in on Master Roshi's island, can Piccolo beat the destructive trio? So, they went to Goku's house, or they went to Kami House Island?
They went to Goku's house. Yeah.
Did Chi-Chi, like, invite them in?
No.
Like,
No.
Give them some tea and
Nope.
cakes? Like,
Nope. They just kind of went there. And Chi-Chi wasn't there. I think they had all gone to Kame house. So, like, they're like, okay, yeah, Goku's not here. So, I guess we'll just go to the next best place, you know? And, yeah. They're just literally leisurely hunting them down. And that's the scariest part about it is just, again, like you said, how fucking cold these androids are. And I love them. I really, really love them as villains, man. They're so cool. So fucking cool.
Episode 148. The monster is coming.
Yeah.
Otherwise known as the Gekiretsu Kodan that split the heavens. Piccolo versus artificial human number 17.
The what?
The Gekiretsu Kodan that split the heavens. Gekiretsu Kodan. 2 different words.
Okay.
Don't know what that
I'm
is.
not even going to pretend.
Piccolo begins his epic
I think
battle.
that's Cell.
Yeah, I'm sorry if I really butchered that.
I don't fucking know.
Piccolo begins his epic battle against Android 17, and he seems to be on par with the mechanical monster.
Oh yeah, so because they had fought before he and Kami fused, and now he and Kami had fused, and Android 17's like, where the fuck did you get all the? What the fuck happened? Like, I was whipping you before. Where did you do this?
Meanwhile, Bulma continues to work on the remote that will shut down the androids.
Yeah, they're just gonna fucking TiVo them and just.
I just really love the visual of like
Both of them.
Like, it's been 40 minutes of like speed punching and like just like instant transmission fighting, and then Bulma just rolls up and hits mute on this entire fucking
and they just are standing, and then they just do the thing where the top half of their body just goes like pew.
In my head, it's like the toys in Toy Story when the Andy's coming, like they're just like fall like ragdolled on the ground, like.
Yeah.
Oh, that is fucking great. On remote control that'll shut on the android.
They just fucking just
You gotta be
bop
kidding
'em.
me.
Literally just bop
Got
them.
to be kidding me.
To be fair, Dr. Giro had one of those as well.
Of course he did. He made them.
Yeah, which is
Bulma's just like, yeah, fuck it. I can probably figure out how that works.
yeah, she's just like, this is the blueprints for 17. Give me a fucking hour.
She's
like,
so fucking smart.
she's ridiculous. She owns that place for a goddamn reason.
Episode 149. He's here.
Oh yes. Oh,
Otherwise
yes.
known as How I Have Waited for This Day. Cell's prologue to perfection.
Yeah. So, interesting thing about this is Android 17 and 18 don't know about Cell.
Weird.
They have no idea who Cell is. And neither does 16. Like, none of them know. And you're about to find out why.
Piccolo and 17 continue their showdown, unaware that the power-hungry Cell is approaching fast. Piccolo is as strong as 17, but fatigue kicks in while the malicious android's power remains undrained.
See, that's why they're dangerous, man.
Meanwhile, Goku and Gohan impatiently wait for Vegeta and Trunks to finish their Super Saiyan training within the hyperbolic time chamber. Cell arrives at the battlefield ready to obtain his final perfect form, and the androids do not seem to know who Cell is.
Yeah. So the whole thing is with Cell, he has to absorb the androids. You know the way he absorbed like the people of Gingertown and all the I was about to say Southtown. Sorry, I've been researching our King of Fighters episode.
Yes.
So he's doing all this and getting power just enough to kind of like keep the lights on in his body.
Sure.
And then he finds out Android 17 and 18 are still here in this timeline because he needs the two of them to achieve his perfect form.
Right.
So it's kind of like they all three of them have to combine and form this bio Megazord type thing. And yeah,
my
I know,
God.
right?
I can't believe you just said that.
That take you back? Power Rangers episode 1?
Yo, my fucking boys. I love Power Rangers.
So good.
But
But
I
like
love that stuff.
yeah, so they have to be absorbed, and 17 and 18 are like, who the fuck are you? And then Cell just comes out and explains the whole thing, and 17 and 18 are just like, no. See, no. Nope. And 17 is just so vehemently against it, and I love it so much. And they're both vehemently against it, but 17 is just like, I will literally murder you before I let that happen. So it's at this point where, like, you start to see that, like, Piccolo knows the danger here. Piccolo's not he's not a stupid man. And Krillin knows the danger here because he fought Cell also. But 17 and 18 don't know how dangerous Cell actually is.
Yeah, that's true.
You know? So they're trying, like, Piccolo is just trying to talk through Android 17 and trying to talk through both of them and be like, you guys need to get out of here as fast as possible. And then 17's just like, no, I'm gonna sit here. And Piccolo's just like, you dense motherfucker. You need to get the fuck out of here. And 18's like, maybe we should get the fuck out of here. So, oh my God. So continue with this episode. It's pretty good.
That was the end of 49. We
All right.
have our last episode right here. Episode 150. It's up to Piccolo.
Yeah, here we go.
Otherwise known as the suicide counterattack proves ineffective.
Thanks.
Piccolo's flame burns out.
Oh, why? Why just give it away? Why?
With more people absorbed, Cell has become more powerful than both Piccolo and Android 17 combined. Despite Piccolo's best attempts, Cell easily disposes of Piccolo.
Yeah. So Cell had been doing some work since we last saw him. Cell absorbed a whole ass other town.
Wow.
Like, and we're not talking about like a town. We're talking about a city town. Mm-hmm. We're talking about like a Chicago. We're talking about like a Denver.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
Yeah. So ridiculous. So every time he absorbs a person, he gets a little bit of power from that person. Mm-hmm. So imagine he just absorbed a population of roughly 1 million people.
Yikes.
Like, yeah.
Knowing of his origin and mission, the androids must work together in order to save themselves from Cell's overwhelming power.
Yeah.
End of episode.
Absolutely. And Cell's like really creepy about it. Like, he's really creepy about it.
Yeah, he had sort of like a weird, creepy swagger to him.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, I'm, like I've got one over on you, and I'm constantly a couple steps ahead. And
One day we will all be as one.
Like, it was disgusting.
yeah, he's
it
a weird
was
dude.
horrific. And then Perfect Cell came along.
He's
and
like, oh yes,
he could have just been Plankton from SpongeBob.
It's
like,
true.
It's just, yes, my perfect body. Like, it's just...
Yeah, but Perfect Cell also had the Cell games, and that's fucking one of the greatest darks in anime history.
He's
so.
just like, I want to be on TV. I'm going to announce it on TV. So I'm just going to fly up through
Yeah.
this TV station. Like, so fucking
Yeah,
funny.
Imperfect Cell was very much about the the attainment of power and like the
Yeah.
sucking people up, and yeah, I think obviously is it outshined by Perfect Cell? Yeah, but is the Imperfect Cell stuff a lot of fun, especially when it crosses over with the androids, and like the androids are recognizing Cell as a threat now, and the androids are like, oh fuck, now we've got to do something. Like,
Yeah, so it's like this weird partnership now with, like, you remember how we had Vegeta, Krillin, and Gohan on Namek?
yeah,
Like, now we have Piccolo, the androids, and Krillin. Like,
yeah. I mean, imagine. It's just so crazy to think that they're like just evil to just sort of like
just
like
flip on a dime like
flip on a
that.
dime, and like it's like I feel like it's like mechanical, almost cyborgian logic. It's like, okay, they're I think that they're probably the androids probably don't subscribe to Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, but
No,
I think
God,
that
no.
I think that
Considering how they fucking murked Dr. Gero.
I think they understand what's in the best interest of their general continued operation.
Yeah.
And that was to work with the Z Fighters
Exactly.
against Cell.
It was cool, man. It was really cool to just see them immediately be like, all right, well, okay, fuck it. You guys are going to help us? Sick. Let's go. Like, just especially Android 17, because he's just such a fuckhead, you know? And I love him. I love him dearly. I really think he's a fun character, especially in Super. In Super, he doesn't change, but he's just a fucking park ranger now. Yeah. He just decided he wants to be a park ranger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, excellent face turn.
And you ready for this shit? He has an entire island that he watches by himself.
Adorable.
Like,
adorable.
And like,
I love that.
When I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah,
we'll get there.
You'll forget I said this by the time we cover. Super.
Big time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So I guess that'll wrap it up for this evening.
Absolutely. This was quite a DB's evening, my friends.
Quite a DB's evening as always, man. Oh my god. Wow.
We're getting into my favorite part of Dragon Ball Z, which is just this like biological, The Thing-esque horror.
True.
Like, I love this. This is my favorite saga because it felt real.
Yeah.
You know, the Frieza saga didn't feel that real, but this felt like something that could actually happen. This was a man-made threat. This was a man-made cyborg duo, and this was a man-made biological weapon that came to life and went rampant, which is crazy.
True. There's something to be said about artificial life, and it's like, do you trust in the fact that it'll work as intended, or will you, it's kind of like the other day I was hanging out with friends, and I had stayed the night, and I woke up in the morning, and nobody had been awake yet, and I just logged onto the Netflix, and I watched my comfort movie, which is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And I'm reminded of Jeff Goldblum's line in that movie where he's like, your scientists were so preoccupied and were thinking about whether or not they could that they did not stop to think if they should.
That's a good point. But I was also thinking about this when you said that Cell was artificial life. I don't think he is. You know why? Because he's made entirely of cells. What separates us? What makes us real and him not?
I guess you're right. Like, it seems like he's like only insofar artificial life as he was created asexually.
Created artificial, like
specifically
designed.
Yeah,
you know, but like he's still a life form, like a regular ass life form.
Oh, big time. Yeah,
just a new species of thing.
The perfect being.
As
he will become to know.
Yeah.
All right.
God, I can't wait till we get to more Cell Saga shit. Oh, this is the coolest.
I can't believe we even heard the word Cell tonight. I can't believe it's already here.
Oh yeah, Cell creeps up quick in the show. Like he comes up real fast, and he comes up out of nowhere, and it's so cool. There's no build up to Cell, absolutely none. He just fucking shows up in Ginger Town. Is like, I'm Cell, I'm here, and like, I love it.
And now we're locked in that cell for the next like season and a half.
Yeah. Oh God.
Right.
Would you say that this next episode will be Hell in a Cell?
Good God.
Yeah.
Good God Almighty. All right. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good night.
Thank you. Share this episode with a friend if you enjoyed it. DM us on Twitter or shout us out on Twitter for a shout out.
Follow us on social media.
Of course.
Follow my art at ZFormArts, at ZEEFormArts on IG.
Also, we're going to try and start streaming these recording sessions. So stay tuned for updates on the Triforce channel. You go to Twitter at the Triforce_. We will keep you updated there as well. You can also follow our personal pages, and we will be retweeting the fuck out of it once we start doing it. So that'll be a lot of fun. And yeah, thanks for coming and enjoying a DB's evening with us.
Bye.
Good night. Come here.